Before I get started in this commentary, I want to send my prayers to the friends and family of Rayshard Brooks or Ryshard Brooks. It's everywhere I see is different spelling of his name, so they just say Rayshard Brooks. If I mispronounce his name, please forgive me. Now, I saw the video, troubling video from start to finish. And let me say this, and I want people to understand that this is not to kick somebody when they're down or go after somebody who can't really defend themselves at this point. But we got to call things as they are. This brother, whatever he did prior to coming in contact with these cops, he was somewhere, he was having a good time. There's nothing wrong with having a good time. He got tipsy, got drunk. And he did like most people get drunk, think they can drive a vehicle, still function. He went to Wendy's drive-thru to order him some food, and he went to sleep. That happened more frequently than you think. I can go back to my fast food days as a crew member, people coming in, getting drunk, vomiting on themselves, doing all kinds of crazy things. I remember being on drive-thru on Friday and Saturday nights where people would come through the drive-thru and be in line, and then you turn around, where's the next car at? You look out the drive-thru window, they behind the wheel sleep. It might be just them, or it may be them and their friends. They just sleep. And what happened when we was crew members back then? This is the '90s, not today, because there's a big difference. Because today I would really do it. If you was the fry person, or one of the sandwich persons, or if you was on the grill or whatever, you went out there and say, "Excuse me, Mister and Miss," but they said walk up close, not on top of them, but be careful. Sometimes you hit the tap on their window, and people would respond. They go, "Oh," it was either embarrassed. They say, "Hey, you're backing up. You've been sitting there. You out here sleep." So they say, "Oh my God!" They put up to the drive-through window, or they keep driving. Or if you're the cashier, and usually the males will yell like, "Hey, wake up! Hey!" And they jump, and they go, "Oh my God!" They get to where they're embarrassed. That was back then. Today, because people are so damn trigger happy, I wouldn't send my crew out there like that. Or if I was a crew member, I would be so quick to go out there. We've seen videos where people have come through drive-through windows. Back then, you had to worry about them just walking through the walk-up or throwing something through the drive-through window. No, they literally come into the drive-through window. So when I was watching the news, hearing people say, "Why didn't Wendy's just call a tow truck?" It ain't that easy. Because tow trucks ain't coming during business hours unless a cop is sitting there longer than an hour or so. Unless the police officer say, "Come pull it." Or after hours when the parking lot is supposed to be empty and that car doesn't have permission to be there. And a tow truck driver is looking for somebody just to tow. So people who don't work in the industry need to be careful, okay, about blaming the management and the team. Because back in the 80s and 90s, so forth, was totally different than what it is now. Like I've said in other videos, I've seen a lot as a crew member, as a manager. So everybody talk about the Wendy's supposed to burnt down good. Y'all mad at the wrong people. Y'all just messed up these people's jobs. But I digress. The guy, he get the police come, what they supposed to do. Knock on the guy's window, the guy doesn't respond. They don't know if this man is dead or not. They opened the door, the cops did what they supposed to do. They wasn't rude. This guy's there not moving. They don't know if this man had a heart attack, a seizure, or he just stroked out or died of natural causes. We don't know what happened. We don't know if this guy got shot. We don't know. They don't know. So eventually he wakes up, he's embarrassed, the body camera goes off, then it comes back on where they woke him up and they're talking. Anybody can see the guy is not in his right mind. They knew he was drunk. But they had to go through steps. Because there are people with medical conditions that might appear to be drunk, or people taking medication and it affect they balance, their speech. And there's some people have mental issues. And sometimes you got people who are narcoleptic who go to sleep anyway. So there's a lot of different things. And these police officers, they went through the steps. And I watched the video. And I'm like, okay, so far they're not nasty to the dude. They're not rude to him. Because they could have been really rude and nasty to him. And he was laughing and talking with him. But they had to do that breathalyzer. Excuse me. And the cop had asked the guy, do you have any trouble walking? Your shoe. The guy said, well, my shoes. So he said, do you have any trouble walking? Because, yeah, shoes mess you up too now. It's a lot of things. Because a lot of these police departments are under a watch major, especially what's been going on lately. So when they took that breathalyzer test and all that stuff together, the guy, he knew the jig was up, and the cops knew it was up. And he said, he got to place him in arrest. And let me tell you where it went south. The brother started just getting arrested. Because they would have took him to jail and let him slept it off. Or they probably would put him back in the car and cost him. It depends. What the policy is in that jurisdiction. Excuse me. When he messed up, he started tussling the cops, trying to run away from them. But not only did he was tussling with the cops, he grabbed a taser. Now, people say that's not a weapon, but it is a weapon. Anything that the police officer got on that belt is considered a weapon. And I heard people say it's not a non-lethal weapon. That's bunk. That's BS. There are people who've died from getting tased. There are people who have heart attacks, strokes, seizures from getting tased. That's electrical voltage. It's supposed to paralyze you. Because right now, I don't want to get hit with no damn taser. Because you don't know what your body's going to do. Once he did that, those police officers could have said he was trying to go fire guns. They could have shot him right there, but they didn't. But he made him look bad. He made the cops look bad, and they started to chase after him. And that cop, the one that got fired from firing the shot at him, he was pissed. But when dude turned around and pointed that taser like it was a gun. Like it was a gun. That officer said, this motherfucker acting like that's a damn gun. And he shot him. And that's where the police officer was in the wrong at. He let his emotions get the best of him. He let his arrogance get the best of him. But that brother was, I know y'all want to say he's innocent, but he's not innocent. Should he have to die over a DUI stop? No. But let's not sit here and romanticize or put him up there with George Floyd. I know people are going to sit there and say, oh man, you want the perfect victim. No, that's not what it is. What I'm talking about is how some of our people keep putting themselves in these situations with these cops. You know damn well these cops are trigger happy when it comes to us. This is something that you've known all your damn life. But but I'm going to be honest with you. I'm not saying Gen X or baby boomers or before that are perfect. But we know better. You don't make no gestures at no motherfuckers in uniform. Because they want to go home to their families too. And they don't shoot just one shot or two shots like in a movie. They shoot multiple shots. Now people can sit and say, well, he was drunk and he wasn't his right mind. Yeah, he wasn't in his right mind. But then again, that argument fucking fall flat because he had enough sense to tussle with him. He had enough sense to grab a weapon off their belt. He had enough sense to run. He turned around and pointed a weapon like he was firing a gun. Now people say maybe he was just firing a taser and just trying to stop him. That's possible too now. But the fact remains is he took off with the part of their uniform, part of their weapon, their weaponry. If he didn't want, I would have ran and dropped it. I wouldn't even touched it. If I was running the run, and the cops could have easily said, "Man, you know what? We got the man car. We got to drive. We got to know who he is. Let it be." But what happened is when people keep doing that, others start to copy it. And this is why when they do that, they talk about the police department or the police, the media and people who are no good have been able to craft it and twist people's intentions and words. I know what they mean by defund the police. Don't give all that damn money to them. Don't give them all that military gear. They need to be always being trained. Doctors are always studying, taking tests. Hell, even the army, we've taken tests. We always qualified. We was talking about sexual harassment. Even a unit with number men. Even if your MOS at that time, when I was at that time, didn't have females and let me do it again. My MOS, 19 kilo. There's an Abrams tank crewman. That's a 4-man. No, it's a 3-man crew, including the TC. So it's total 4. And we still talk about sexual harassment, racism, and stuff in that nature. So the same thing go for these police departments. But we know who's running these unions. We know who they are. And this is going to happen. You have people who don't live in your community policing. That's not to say that's not questionable black police officers. But the chances of you getting shot by a white cop is high. But at the same time, we keep putting ourselves in situations where we become a news cycle event. When I go out to a party, I knew once I got into my senior year of high school, and from that point on, that's gonna be liquor somewhere. And even if you drinking punch and you don't think you can't taste it, it's some liquor somewhere. And if you have friends and family out there, they will let you know, hey, it's liquor in that drink, or the drink I'm giving you, this is alcohol in it. Some people gonna tell you to slow down. Like I've said, I've gone out and on occasion to a nice dinner and had some wine or some, I wouldn't say hard liquor, but when you go to the club, that kind of stuff, right? And I know when I'm getting tipsy. I know when I'm not. I can't drive. It's not. This is not a regular thing. But when I drink too much, I don't move my vehicle. And if I do have to drive home, I sit there for 2 or 3 hours. Now people still say you can still be drunk depending on the amount of alcohol, but usually you done sobered up enough. But if I know that I can't maintain that, if my eyes are heavy, I can't maintain. I'm like, you know what? It's a motel right here. There's a hotel right here, or there's a parking lot in a relatively safe area. I'm gonna sit here for a while. And if a police officer come over and they say, "What's going on?" Be up front. Say, "Look, I went out to dinner and I had some drinks, and I'm sitting here. I do not want to drive home. I don't live in the area." And usually some police officers, they're not going to give you no ticket. They're not going to fine you. They're going to get you information in case you do make that, because it happened to me one time. And it was a white cop. I know people saying, well, you were just lucky that time, because they could have gave you a ticket. If I told them I was in this restaurant right here and I'm sitting here and I've been sitting here for a minute, why? And I'm like, I don't want to move the vehicle. I'm just sitting there because obviously can't sleep it off up in there and rest. And they say, well, okay, fine. Or I call somebody and they supposed to be coming to pick me up. And the cops either sit there for a while or they'll send another squad car to make sure. I mean, I've had those situations. And I'm pretty sure some of y'all had. Every cop ain't bad. But some of these brothers and sisters are taking a chance on the ones who out here who don't give a damn, who don't live in the neighborhood, don't give a damn about your well-being. And what happened was he pissed these 2 cops off, and then one of the fire shop was like, this mother rap it. And the sad part is they both was nice to each other, and then when the officer had to do his job, dude didn't want to comply. But when he took that taser off, when he wrestled them cops, took that taser off of him, and he ran, he was in the wrong. But that officer exacerbated by pulling his weapon out and shooting him in the back. So yeah, it's wrong all to go around, but I don't understand why in the hell did these young brothers and sisters keep getting in these police officers' face like you playing with fire. I don't understand. I've seen enough videos where they yelling, "You can't do this." Shut the fuck up. If you got a friend or family or a bystander recording it, let them. There have been times where people have gotten pulled over. No, it's bogus. And there have been people who recorded and the police had to drop the charges. It was a video a few years back, and they showed it again yesterday of a black young black man. He's a man now, but he was a boy. He was with his grandmother. He has a white grandmother. Now people are gonna try to figure out how they related, but that's his grandmother. She's white, and he was sitting in the back of the car, and somebody saw it. Called a cop. The cop was suspicious. They pulled the car and pulled a gun out of this kid. And she said, "What did he do? That's my grandson." And the lady was like, "Your grandson?" They didn't believe the white woman. Now, even though she said, "That's my grandson." Now, if the white woman was in there, she would have said, "Oh, thank you, officer. Thank you, officer. They did this to me. He was kidnapped." No. She said, "That was my grandson." And the officers didn't believe it. They still ran this kid's information. But this boy had enough common sense not to be vocal, not to be angry. He sat there calm as can be because his parents taught him as a black male, you can't be saying what you can and cannot do. I be watching the news, seeing adult males talking about, I don't know how to tell my son about racism, about the police. Or I see adult women. I get the moms don't get it in some cases. But then there's some moms that know damn well they watch their fathers and brothers go through it. So they don't sit there and say, "I'm going to wait till you get 12, 13 years old." They're not, you're going to have this talk now. Thank God my parents, especially my father, didn't BS me. Because I was a little boy, I remember it was at this time, it was just me, my father and mother, and my brother. We was going to this store called Community. Anybody from Chicago, from that off on the west side of that area, know what I'm talking about. Cicero, over there by the old Bel Air Drive-In. Well, it was a place called Community. Basically, it was a department store. And it had to be, I know it had to, we went in, it was still light, and we came out, it got dark. So it had to be sometime in the fall, maybe spring. Could have been a summertime, whatever. But I remember we went in, we was coming out, and we had to turn, making a left-hand turn on Cicero. And before we got to the light, flashing lights was flashes. I can't remember if it was Cicero police or Chicago police. All I remember, we got pulled over. And the police officers came up. My father was sitting there, had both hands on the steering. My mother was scared. I remember that. She's like, "What's going on? What do we do?" Now, me and my brother, this is at a time when car seats was not the law of the land. Because kids, we bounced around. So I remember my mother yelling and said, "You both sit down." And my father said, "Sit down, boy. Sit down. Sit down." And the officer said, "Just pull over." Like, "And where you going?" And I remember the flashlight in my face. And the light was so bright, like, "Ouch." And my father said, "Hey, that's my son. You ain't got to do that." And he said, "Hey, your son needs to sit down, be in a seatbelt." And I guess the officer was mad that my father said something to him. So they pulled him out of the car. My mother was like, "Please don't do nothing to my husband." I'll never forget that. And I could understand what was really going on. But thank God that my father had his military ID. He was still in his work uniform and whatnot. Now, that was the 1960s. My father could have got killed. I'm going to be honest with you. He could have got shot dead. He could have got shot dead right there in the 80s, but 1960s? Shit. Over there? Okay. So anyways, on our way home, I could tell my father was mad. And I'm like, "Daddy. And he wouldn't answer. So my mother said, "Sit down." And my father said, "We were just going shopping." And he got pulled for nothing. And he said, "A cop pulled me out because I just told him, don't put the flashlight in my son's face." And I remember, and then I told you the story when we was going out to go out to eat, and the car hit our car, and the white guy looked dead at us, me and my father, called us niggers. So when those incidents happen back to back as a child, you start asking questions. And at first, your parents don't want to answer it, they want to just dismiss it, or want to send you into a different direction because they don't want that to be your reality. They don't want you to be talking about the thing. They don't want to traumatize you. But at some point, after a while, I remember my parents had an argument. Well, let me take that back. A disagreement, because argument is too loaded. My father was telling my mother he need to know. At that time, my brother was too young to really comprehend it. But my father felt I was old enough to have some understanding of it. Now, mind you, I was in kindergarten. Okay, I want you to think about this for a second. Kindergarten. Or was I even kindergarten? I wasn't even in kindergarten then. I had to be about 4 years old. I know between 4 and 5. And my father said, there's some people out here that do bad things. And he said, not all. Now, my father was very careful not to vilify police officers, because when you were little kids back then, what do you want to be when you grow up? A doctor, lawyer, a police officer, teacher, firefighter. Because they're members of my family that are in law enforcement and in the military. And my father didn't want to do that. He didn't want us to be scared. But things, you start to see things on the news, you hear things. And I guarantee before I got 7 years old, my father had that talk. He said, look, right now you can't drive, but eventually you're going to start driving. But right now, when you out in public, and my mother would say, matter of fact, my mother worked for the police department. She came up to the school and spoke to the kids. So this is like nothing new. How you talk to the police? How did the police talk to you? Yes, officer, no officer. Yes, ma'am, yes, sir. Don't make any sudden movements. So these are things that we talked about 30-something years, nearly 40-something years ago. So when I hear people today talking about, I don't know how to get that conversation, do what our parents did. You had to be blunt. You know, everybody can talk about that talk with their children, but apparently it's not sinking in, because if I'm a black man driving in a neighborhood that I'm not familiar with, knowing the chances that a police officer is going to pull me over, I'm going to maintain the speed limit. I'm not going to have the radio up loud, even though it's loud and subjective at points. I'm going to make sure I'm on my P's and Q's. And if I get pulled over, I ain't making no sudden movements. I'm going to, yes, officer, no officer. Do you have a wallet and registration, valid license? Yeah. Well, I got to get it out the glove compartment. My wallet is in my back pocket. Do you want me to get out? I'm opening the door. Got one hand, open the door. So they said, you ain't got to do that. I said, but I got to reach my body. I don't want you to make me think I'm making any sudden moves. You got to do all that just to survive as a black person, especially as a black man. And if they do pull you out, that's you praying to God they ain't gonna do nothing to you physically. So what you do, if they tell you to turn your body and face the car, they pat you down, they pat you down. If you have nothing illegal on you, nothing that feels gonna cause them harm, you don't make no movements. Now we know there's times when brothers have done it and still got their brains blown out. But this is why we need police reform. This is why you vote. This is why you control your dollar. But I hear arguing with them, come out, they name talking about you ain't going to do, and a lot of y'all just talk. And you got to understand, there are people who go around social media pulling these videos together. I see them on social media. They take these clips and look how these savages are acting. Look at them. And that's why people are so quick to side with the police department. And plus, the reason why people are so quick to side, that's not their experience. Every black man, a black male, I should say, at some point has had a negative interaction with a cop more than one time. So for the life of me, if you know you out there doing dirt, or they caught you red-handed, why in the fuck is you going to risk your life tussling with one of them? Now people say, well, they ain't fear. Oh, I believe me, I know that fear. I don't have that fear today, because I'm not going to let them control my life like that. But there was a time where I was spooked. Every time I got back, I saw a flashlight. I was, oh shit. If you guys have followed, I told you a story about that white female cop putting that gun on my head, and if that rookie cop didn't come and save me, I'd have been dead. And if you're a black man, you know a white female cop is more deadly than a white male cop at times. Now, don't get me wrong. I'm not condoning what this cop did, because after that, when that dude ran, and them police out there couldn't catch him. Stop. Just like they do these police pursuits. If the guy is got away, you call in the description, and you put a bulletin out and let some other officers, if they in the vicinity, if they got better means of catching that person or eyes on that person, then let them do that. But chasing, because a woman got killed the week before last. A woman got killed in Chicago. It was her first day on her new job. Was going home to her family, and this punk was out in the south suburbs. Had carjacked somebody. Went from the south suburb, went from Midlothian, Illinois, into the south side, through the west side, up to the north side, and into the suburbs of up there near the airport. Then came back down to Kennedy, cut back into the streets of the north side, and the police should have said, "Droop, let's end it." They was mad because this guy took him from one jurisdiction to another. I mean, he went from the suburbs of Midlothian, Illinois, got on the expressway, so now the state troopers involved. Then he goes into the city. Now you got the Chicago Police Department. And wherever suburb that he went up there, you got them involved. So now you got these jurisdictions are chasing this dude. And what happened? He smashed that car, killing an innocent woman. And the thing is, he survived. The woman didn't. See, the police department got to understand, hey, sometimes you got to back off. And there's times where the police department got to use force. I know there are going to be people out there like, what? Look, man, I'm not pro-police brutality. That's not what I mean. But I'm watching people out commit these crimes or put themselves in harm's way. And then now people on TV conflating. Now, I know the people in Atlanta are in pain and angry. But I think a lot of people are using this to get out the house because of coronavirus. Excuse me. These allergies. I'm trying to be as fair-minded as I possibly can be. But my thing is, when you decide that you want to tussle with police officers and make threats in front of them, you didn't open up a can of worms. It's one thing if you saw something happening, and like I give you a perfect example. When George Floyd was being, those cops doing what they did, I can understand people bomb rush that. I can understand when you see that blatant police officers, blatant disrespect of the people in that community. I get it. But sometimes these officers are doing their jobs, and a lot of times these officers are not properly trained. And this cop was not properly trained because he allowed his emotions to get the best of him, cost him a job, and more than likely his freedom. Because he shot dude in the back. But when Rashard Brooks turned around and pointed that taser like it was a weapon, and that police officer mind, he like, this guy, if he had a gun, he wanted to kill me. This motherfucker wanted to kill me. I can tell you, I give you an example. Now, it's not right. There have been people, innocent people have been getting killed. They don't talk about this a lot. There have been people going to raid in the wrong home, or people got caught in crossfires, or IEDs, or whatever, or mortars, whatever. So we was told by our chain of command that we gotta change the way we do things. Now, we talk about hearts and minds, so don't go ready. Now, you're in the war zone. You're supposed to be at the ready, but you're supposed to be able. They want you to think at the same time, which is crazy in a war zone. Me and my platoon was out on our patrol sector, and I remember telling my then lieutenant, I said, "Sir, we haven't patrolled up here in a week. And a week in Iraq is like a month, 2 months. Not patrolling." So he's like, oh, we'll be okay. And I said, you know, this is real clean. Everybody, we talking about, oh, they finally came out and cleaned up, because anybody knows in Iraq, they either be on the road selling benzene, which is gasoline, we call them, and whatnot, or it has livestock, or there's really a lot of garbage. But they've been trying to keep it clean because of the IEDs and the bombs and all this stuff is set up. And they wanted to make it clean. They wanted to get Iraq back some type of look at what I'm looking for. Normalcy. As normal as it can be, considering it's a war going on over there. So we was about to go towards, we was heading towards the green zone. And I'm like, sir, you know, this is really clean around. It's a little too clean. And in the back of my mind, like, something don't feel right. And I learned to trust his voice. Now, my mom, she died in '04, December of '04. This had to be probably, it had to be probably about, I want to say maybe May, because of all the rain over there during that time. May, maybe June, probably May, more likely May. And we got hit with a IED. And I'm not going to tell you how they did it, but it's clever as hell with how they concealed it. And I remember, for maybe a split second, everything went black. But I remember just trusting his voice, my mother's voice, because if I didn't move over, I think it would have killed us. This is the second, no, let me see. This is the third explosion I was in. And what happened was, it was in the area where it was the initial bombing. It was this big building. It was called Saddam's Mall. It had a big ass picture of Saddam Hussein on the side of the building. And you could tell it was bombed out because the bombs had hit it. So they tell you had to push through so many meters. Now, they don't tell you how many meters. But we had to push, get out of what we considered the kill zone. But over there, it's all kill zone. So I had my headset on and my earplugs on, but it still affected me to the point where I was dizzy. Now here it is, I'm driving Humvee. I'm the lead Humvee. And all I know, I could feel it going down in the back. I thought maybe one of the tires was gone. No, both rear tires were blown. They were losing air. And we had to get out and get put in position. So we called for support. Our lieutenant colonel, they was on their way from the airport, from buyout. They get hit. So now EOD gotta go to them, then come to us, but they couldn't get to us because they was closer to the lieutenant colonel. So we got, all of a sudden we get surrounded by people. We see these people got shit in their hands, don't know what the hell they got. And by right, being in a war zone, we could easily went and put our weapon on burst, but we didn't do that because we in somebody else's country and everybody over there wasn't a bad guy. But I remember looking to my left and seeing somebody in a white shirt up in that building, and I wanted to fire because I knew there was a spotter, and more than likely they triggered that IED. I remember my sergeant. Now we had just got a new sergeant, platoon sergeant. He was in the rear vehicle, if I'm not mistaken. And he's yelling at us, hearts and minds, don't fire. I'm pointing, and I kept raising my weapon. I'm like, I wanted to fire, and I couldn't. And so my lieutenant, I'm pointing, he sees it. And we both about to fire, but he was still dizzy. But I remember they said you can't fire until fire upon him. Now this is a war zone where we just got hit by IED. We're surrounded by people all around us. Just down the road, a lieutenant colonel got his company, his patrol got hit by. They was coming to aid us, got hit by IED. I see somebody in this building that shouldn't be in this building, knowing that more than likely this person was a spotter, and then come to find out it was another sergeant and another soldier saw the same exact thing, but we didn't know that until we got back to the file. Now, I guess the point I'm trying to say is, if in a war zone, if I still had that situation awareness, no matter, I mean, I'm pissed off. I got blood running down my out of my ears. That concussion, you felt that. Anybody, if y'all never been to explosion, you feel that go through your body. Thank God my mother was watching over. God was watching, because I'm telling you, it would have been bad. Thank God it was just the wheels blown down. But the thing is, in a war zone, we was given orders not to fire unless fired upon. But here in the United States, these cops, they just start shooting. And they got a union that protects them. They still get paid. And you don't think that somebody at home, these brothers and sisters, like, wait a minute. I'm going out here, I don't respect the police, number one. They didn't did this, da-da-da-da. And then I might be the one to get in the confrontation with them, and I'm going to make gestures at them, like I got a weapon or something, or I'm going to tussle with them. I'm going to, and knowing that they'll shoot for, like, the only reason, I'm going to be honest with you, if this George Floyd thing did not happen, this cop would never got fired. It'd be a totally different, that police chief would have never resigned. It'd be a totally different story. It'd be like, well, that officer reacted, they training kicked in. Then they'd be like, well, that taser is considered a weapon. Think about, I'm telling you right now, that's the only reason why people responded different. And then when we saw the people protesting, how some of these cops were reacting. So right now, police officers ain't gonna get too much sympathy at all. And I'm not like I said, this is nuance. The conversation I'm having here with you guys. But the brother was in the wrong, folks. He got himself killed. He played chicken with two white police officers. I don't understand why these young brothers and sisters want to tussle with these police. I mean, there's times where I can sit there and say, I can see if somebody react, but nah. No, I hope y'all don't think that I'm defending this cop. That's not, because like I said at the beginning of this commentary, the officer was wrong. He shot the man, he shot him in the back while he was running. But y'all gotta be honest, the brother, Mr. Brooks, took his body and pointed that taser like it was a gun. So how in the hell? I mean, this is one of those stories. See, this is one of those these type of commentaries that I don't like to give, because I just don't see it clear cut. Yeah, should dude lose his job? Yeah, because he shot him the way he shot him. But we hear stories all the time. We see him when they say the person motioned back. And sometimes you got to believe those, because we seen enough video. I guess what I'm saying to these young brothers and these sisters, if your parents or grandparents or the teachers never told you, stop trying to fight the police. Because it's going to get to a point where the police are going to be so damn neutralized, or they're not going to want to do their job. You're gonna have a problem. Last week, and I'm gonna do a commentary about it. Not last week, the week before last, when they had the people taking advantage of the George Floyd protesting, they was rioting across the country. Y'all saw what them sergeants and those lieutenants and them was over in Congressman Bobby Rush's office. They didn't realize that they was being recorded. See. And what if the fraternal police union? Well, they had to protect the congressman. No, that wasn't it. Now, what it is, they say, since you guys want to tip your own community, since you guys want to look at us a certain way. And this is the thing, in the heart of the black community, black people know that we need police officers. But there's all gonna be somebody gonna take advantage of it, gonna twist it, and so they set it out. They didn't care. They were joking, sleeping, and everything. I'm telling you, I know it's about to happen. I'm telling you right now, because you see the police on TV. They need to give us respect. Y'all get respect every day. Y'all got PR like y'all. They got the best PR in the world. Everything you turn on TV, it's a cop show. It's been cop shows since our parents, our grandparents were kids. Dick Tracy radio show. They've always portrayed law enforcement as an honorable profession. Now we know better. We know that it's black is not is a shade of gray. We know it. A lot of black folks, they have family members in law enforcement, military. We know. And then we get attacked. People say, oh, why you want to join the military? Why you want to join the police department? Because we can patrol our own communities a little bit better. We know how to deal with our people. But sometimes we got to tell our brothers and sisters, like, look, man, y'all tying our hands up. I saw the video, and was I as outraged by this as I was Laquan McDonald or Walter Scott or George Floyd? No. Because I told y'all back then when those boys stole them cars and was spotted and they tried to run a cop over and they chased the boy, got killed. Some of y'all got mad because like, I can't defend when we do wrong. I can't defend when we put ourselves in harm's way. We have to be honest about that. That doesn't mean that I don't sympathize with this man's family and friends, because they're missing him today. They say I think they say he had 3 kids. These kids are never going to see their dad again. But their father was 27 years old. He was old enough to know, hey man, if I want the police fuck with me, I'm not going to go out and put myself out there like that. And if I got busted, hey, let me take in jail. I'll go pay a fine and go about my business. All that tussling and running around, you ain't gonna do this to me, shit. Y'all gotta stop. Because what you're doing, you tying our hands up. Because when people see this, they're gonna say, well, you know what? It would never happen if he would just cooperate. The cops wasn't rude to him until he, or mad until he started fighting back, resisting arrest. He resisted arrest. He took a taser off a police officer. But that cop, he was pissed. I gotta chase after this mother, and then when he pulled that brother made that motion like it was a gun with that taser, that cop, he got pissed. Or his training kicked in. If any sudden movement, we don't, because they could have, but still, they pat the guy down. They knew he had a gun. So they can't use that excuse that he had a gun, because he was already patted down. What it was, the officer got pissed off that he was tussling with them. Then he took a taser off of him. Then he had the audacity to run. Then the audacity to turn around and point the taser at him, and he shot him because the officer grabbed his revolver or his weapon. He pulled it. Y'all see it clear as day on that tape. So the cop is not innocent. He deserved to be fired. But my thing is, this brother put himself in a situation. Now I know they would be going to say, well, Harvey, he was drunk. He's out. But he had enough sense to run away. Think about it. Stop making yourself a target for these idiots. They don't value our life as it is. Why are y'all putting yourself in harm's way? I see teenage kids yelling. Stop yelling with them. Especially if they know they got you dead to rights. Like, stop. The first thing they say, we don't get respect. I was watching in New York, the New York police officers, the fraternal police, they don't respect us. They don't remember, these guys are super sensitive. A lot of them picked on as kids. A lot of them wanted to get other jobs they couldn't get. If you notice, a lot of them, they hit the weight room and they steroid it out. They big and bad when they got their buddies with them. say it now and I say it again. Stop making yourself a target. Stop putting yourself in interactions where they got to get in your face. There are times when I've been pulled over, it pisses me off. But then as of late, I'm like, if they got me speeding, they got me. And there's times where they might have those spot checks or around, and you see a squad car sitting on the side of the road. You're like, oh, they'll get me. And they pull over, and like I said, I got my insurance. I know I'm doing a speed limit. Now, if I got a bogus cop, give me a ticket. And there's ways you can fight that. And sometimes you may not even fight the bogus ticket. What you do is you get your insurance company. A lot of people don't understand. You got these brains in your cars, right? Every car got a computer. And if you're smart enough, you call your insurance and go, look, I got a bogus traffic ticket. And I know you guys, because they even got some of these systems now where the insurance monitor your speed so they know. I mean, if you got to go to the extreme, if it's a real expensive ticket, I've had bogus traffic red light things sent to me. I had bogus tickets. Yeah, you get pissed off, but you know how to play the game. Either pay the fine or you contest it. And sometimes you can contest it and they throw it out. But if you out there and you know damn well in your state marijuana is not legal, but you're going to take a chance, shit. And then you're going to have to get an attitude. If it's a curfew, they tell you take your ass home, go home. If you drunk and they gonna take you to jail, what can you do? I'm not saying, and I want to make sure this is clear. I am not condoning what they did to this man. Let me say this again. I am not condoning what that officer did to that man, I should say. But brother knew the jig was up. He didn't want to get arrested, so he decided to run. He didn't. At that point, he thought of himself. He didn't think about his family. He didn't think about his friends. He thought about himself, self-preservation. But the officer should have said, "Yo, man, why you running?" But see, when he was tussling with those officers on the ground, that's when they like, oh, okay, you want to be one of those people. Let me say to these young brothers and sisters out here, I know you don't like to be falsely accused or to get mistreated or disrespected. I get it, but until we as a community come together and show united front, until we learn how to control our dollar, vote, we stop endorsing these negative images of us, people are going to come in our community and disrespect us. Right now, you got a large segment in this country think that the these police officers are under attack, and they're not under attack. The ones who getting caught and getting called out for what they're doing, that's what we should be focused on. John and John Q. Public, who keep wanting to cost black folk question where we should be at and how we should live our lives, that should be our focus. Yes, there's going to be that brother and sister that don't understand that their actions have dire consequences. I get it. But this dude knew he got busted. He knew he was going to fail a breathalyzer test. He knew handcuffs was going on. But he decided that I'm going to tussle with the police officers, knowing damn well that they'll shoot first, ask questions later. And if there wasn't any video, and people burnt down the damn Wendy's, don't realize that Wendy's had the perfect video. Because what if there was no video of that for that Wendy's? What if they didn't have body cams on? Guess what? They would say the guy had a gun on him. He made a gesture. And case closed. Nobody would question anything. I'm not playing with these cops. Because I know better. And like I said, I know you don't have to be doing anything. That stick still mess with you. But I'd rather take my chances. Officer pulled me over. Yes, officer, what did you do? What did I do? You was speeding, and you know that you was what speed you was doing. Okay, take the ticket. Don't say nothing. My brother, last time I got pulled, my brother said we didn't do nothing. He saw my face. He said, "Don't." He said, "Bro, don't." He said, "These Chicago police, they want to do something to you. You driving a nice new truck, and they don't like that." And this is what 2013 when this incident happened. They still had me and my brother get out and pat us down. They didn't believe that we was working men or we was law abiding citizens. When they came back and realized our license was clean, they had no choice but to let us go. And then they apologized. We're sorry to pull you over. Because they're afraid because if you ain't got nothing in your background, no tickets, none of that stuff, they try to figure out who you are. They used to think that we all criminal minded or that we don't respect authority or the law or we don't know how to conduct ourselves. This is why everybody make the comments about black folks being emotional. They make mockery of us on TV and on social media. Look at them, they getting loud, they getting emotional. Brother could have easily sat there and just took whatever punishment he got. All they're gonna do is put him in a squad car and have him say we going to the police station and have him and probably I don't know if they did a fingerprint. They would just put him in a jail cell, whatever they're gonna do. Cost probably do an eye bond or bond him out and say here go your court date. But he oh boy. And I'm not. And I say this again. I am not justifying this man being shot because it's sad. 27 years old, lost his life like this. Went to sleep in the Wendy's drive-through, probably getting a burger and fries and a Coke. Lost his life. And the thing is, him and the officers, they was joking and laughing. But once he did what he did, that's when they figured, I just want my brothers and sisters out here to think you gotta be, even if you drunk or high, you still got some sense. Or even before you get to that point, I'm not gonna put myself in harm's way, or I'm not giving them ammunition and you shoot me dead, or lay hands on me. See, some of y'all ain't got and figure, oh, people gonna protest. No, it takes time for shit to change. Now, look, if people gonna disagree with me, fine, I understand it. I just want us to use logic, common sense. Now, I know there's gonna people say it's in those situations. These are random. It's not always, and I get it, and I agree with you on that. But watching the news, I don't care how many people are protesting and calling cops, you still don't poke the bear. Live to fight another day if it's possible. I mean, yeah, we know that Philando Castile didn't get a chance with John Crawford. We got Tamir. We know they didn't get a chance to live another day. But don't aid in don't aid into them destroying you. Don't aid into them laying hands on you. If you know you out there dirty, you know you out there wrong. Hey man, that's laws you gotta maintain. But I like I said, I went back and forth whether or not to even do this commentary. I don't want people to misconstrue it because I do my sympathies does go out to this man and his family. But once he turned around, stopped wrestling with these officers and took that taser off them, I knew this was never going to end good. Anybody would come and say, "Oh, that's not going to end good." And we got to. And I know people gonna say, "Well, white folk do this all the time," and you know they never get shot because you understand racism, bias. I've seen white folks beat the crap out of cops and they never shoot them because they know better. When they talk about racism, you have to go back to the schools. You have to go to the church. It's implied at a young age that white folks supposed to be protected at all costs, given the benefit at all costs. It's implied at an early age that black folks are dangerous. We're wild, uncivilized, so we're not to be respected. And if some of you brothers and sisters play into these stereotypes or these twisted ideas about us, this is why I'm not a fan of certain entertainment, because you play into these stereotypes that we're violent. There are a lot of brothers out here mild mannered, meek, and I get it. Everybody want to go out and have a good time, and everybody sometimes you go ahead and have too much fun. I get it, and sometimes you're not in complete control of your faculties, or you have no understanding where you may be, what you may be doing. But before you get to that situation, like, look, I'm going to this house party, I'm going to this party. I know that I can handle my liquor well, I know that I got to drive. I'm not going to risk it. But every time I see these videos where you see people yelling and iron the people, I'm like, y'all playing with fire. We didn't do this shit. I know people say, well, it's a different time. Yeah, it's a different time. But I can see if the police officers are manhandling you or doing something that's inappropriate for no reason, and you guys trying to stop them. I get that. But if you out there doing something, putting yourself out there and doing wrong and something questionable, I can't come to your defense for a full throated defense of you. I wish to God I could have done this from a different angle. Maybe somebody else might say it from a different angle. But I just, like I said, I just can't keep. We just can't keep pretending that some of our brothers and sisters putting themselves in a situation they don't need to be in.